Hello and welcome back. This is another little video in my relationship chart series, focusing on composite and Davidson charts. So you can apply today's video to both, to the composite and the Davidson chart. I prefer working with the Davidson chart. I still look at the composite chart when I look at relationships, right? Two people's charts coming together. But I've, for myself, discovered that the Davidson chart gives me deeper information. It gives me greater information about the actual relationship in this physical world. Not just the potential, but how this relationship is actually growing, blossoming, or not. So today I want to look at the Ascendant. We look at all 12 signs, Aries to Pisces, and we look at what an Ascendant in each sign means for the relationship, how the relationship is perceived, how the relationship approaches life, how the relationship is, what is the potential for growth in this relationship, because the Ascendant tells us a lot about that, because the Ascendant in the rising sign is rising, right? So, and a rising is like it's a growing process throughout life, and in this case throughout the relationship. So let's start with Aries. So for a relationship chart, Davidson, composite. And I'm not talking about synastry, right? Just so you're not confused. This is not for synastry. This is for the composite or Davidson chart. If the couple, the relationship, has an Aries rising, this is a relationship that probably started really quickly, that went from 0 to 100 very fast. And it's a very active relationship, meaning the couple is very active. And by active, it can, that can look like, the couple likes to be outside, do things like physical, active things, right? Aries is a fire sign. There is action involved. And that couple is also seen as very active and often very loud. It's not a quiet couple that sits in a corner. When they come to a party, you will notice them. They will not be invisible. They are very visible. It's a very visible couple. And the growth potential in this couple is, of course, there is growth potential. And the thing, though, is that because it often goes from 0 to 100 so quickly, it can fade out very, very quickly, too. So depending, of course, on what the sun is telling us, what the aspects are telling us about this relationship, we cannot judge a relationship just by the rising sign. But there need to be a lot of placements that show us longevity, because with an Aries rising sign, it like I said, it can start quickly, fizzle out quickly too, or it can be very volatile, and it can be, there's the stability is in question. But of course, if you have a lot of placements in earth signs, if there are a lot of if there are trines and sextiles available, there is, of course, the possibility that this is a super stable relationship, and a relationship for the ages, right? So it is all possible. So when it comes to Taurus, Taurus is an earth sign, This relationship approaches life in a very matter-of-fact way, but also it's not it's not a couple that takes risks easily. Again, depending on the other placements, you know, if there's a strong Uranus connection here, or if there's a lot of Aries, a lot of fire, generally, a lot of that can change. But generally, that couple, the first impression you will have of that couple is like, oh, very stable, very grounded, but not very. They are not risk takers. They like to know that things are stable first before they step onto, you know, the bridge. So this is a couple, when they come to a party, you will probably notice them too, but not for the same reason. Like I said earlier about Aries, it's not like they're not loud. They're relative quiet couple, but they have a presence. Like they together have a presence. There's either a lot of beauty there. It's a very beautiful couple, or they there's you know, sometimes even if people are not big or huge, you just see them because they have this presence and this aura of like groundedness, and you will notice that couple too. It's a couple that can't be missed generally. And what else do I want to say? Yeah, so we already talked about this couple not being the biggest risk takers, depending on other placements, yes. But the approach to life is going to be, well, let's be careful, right? Let's be careful. Gemini rising couple. That couple is a very chatty couple. They like to be out and about, around people, always going to the latest party and event. And they like to organize like dinner parties or parties in general. They're a very active couple too, but not necessarily active as in like, let's go hiking for 2 days. More active in a way like, let's go to the theater, let's go to the museum, let's go and have drinks with our friends after the museum. You know, it's like, it's a very social couple, and they approach life in a very spontaneous way. It's a mutable sign, right, Gemini? So everything is more spontaneous. And they are also seen as the fun couple. It's a you know, they're fun to be around. You like to have them at your party because, you know, they are chatty, they are like, the way they are with each other, it's a very light energy. Then Cancer, the Cancer couple, Cancer rising couple, water sign. It's a couple that has a very they have a very emotional connection with each other. They approach life from a very emotional perspective, but also a more there's a focus on security and safety, and let's build something that makes us all feel safe. So there is the approach to life is not, we're not the risk takers. Again, Uranus can change everything, can make things unstable, as can, you know, fire signs or squares in that chart. But generally the approach is going to be, let's keep it safe. Let's approach life from an emotional point, like how do we feel about this, but let's feel safe first. So decisions are based on feeling safe. It is also a couple that likes to be at home. It's a couple that if they invite you, they're probably going to invite you to your home, but only if they know you well. It's a couple that has boundaries, not like Capricorn, not like a Capricorn couple. The boundaries of a Cancer rising couple are more, there's more of an emotional reaction, connection to it. And it's also a couple that likes to eat and likes to cook together, like homey things. It's most likely also a couple that wants to have children, that makes that a priority, where both parties really want that. They came together to raise a family. Leo rising couple. Oh Lord, another couple you will not miss at a party, because they definitely stand out. They stand out. They are often very extravagant in whatever way. You know, it can be the dressing, the way they dress, the way they communicate. They are a couple that generally is also very beautiful or made up, right? They are always made up. They're not going to slouch. They're not going to come to a party in sneakers, unless it's like the latest sneakers. And the way they approach life is also very, there's an extravagance there. They want a good life. They want a luxurious life. If you're a Leo couple, don't scream at me now. I'm not saying all you want is luxury. A luxury can come in different forms, right? Not, a yacht and a Mercedes is not necessarily the only representation of luxury. Depending on what luxury means to you, that's how you as a Leo couple will approach luxury. But it is definitely a topic. And also they're seen, they are always looked at as, oh, that couple is special, right? They are like kind of like they're standing on a higher ground. It's a beautiful couple to be around, especially when you're invited to their parties, because they are also extravagant. So what else? Virgo rising couple is a couple that can come across as very I don't want to say rigid, but it's a couple that is more subdued as well, earth sign, and more laid back. They are not necessarily a couple that is immediately noticed by everyone when they come to the party. They will be noticed later. Once you get into a conversation with them, you will notice how interesting they actually are, because they have a lot of things to say. Or no, maybe I shouldn't say they have a lot of things to say. They have things to say, and the things that I have to say, they are usually profound and they have meaning and they are based on something. There is no fluffy bullshit. It's not, when the Leo couple talks, they can tell you stories, where the Virgo couple, they are more like, they go down to the real thing really quickly. There is no fluff or extravagance around them. They are very down-to-earth couple. At least that's how they are viewed when you first meet them. This couple can, of course, have a Leo sun, and then that Leo sun will shine through and will give them a lot of Leoness, so to speak. So that can, of course happen. It's possible that you have a couple that has a Virgo rising and then a lot of planets in Leo, and that couple can be very focused on luxury and things like that. But the first impression will still be, oh, they're very down to earth. And they also approach life from that place where it's like they're more, they're not the biggest risk takers. Let's put it that way. But again, first impression, right? And first approach. It's a very instinctual, the rising sign is very instinctual. So it's that kind of instinctual first reaction approach to something. When it comes to Libra rising couples are generally very beautiful couple. And sometimes not, at least one of the two is gorgeous, stand out. But what you will see is like even if they are not the most beautiful in the physical, like the beauty standards that, we have, but they exude like this beauty because there's this harmony between them. There's this beautiful harmony between these two. And that makes them beautiful. And it's a very interesting couple to see. It's also a couple you will notice quickly because that harmony, the way they interact, the way they move with each other, the way they touch each other, there is like there is sensuality, but it's not necessarily sexual. It's more, it's just beautiful to see the harmony, like they've known each other for 10 lifetimes. It's also a couple that is engaged in things that it's not a couple that just sits in the corner and wants to be left alone. They are engaged with the group, and they do bring a lot of harmony to the group too. And they make they can balance out energy that is to this or to that. And the way they approach life, they love beautiful things, for sure. They are not major risk takers, but they are also not holding back like a Virgo couple would. They go for things. If they want something, they will go for it. They find a way to go for it. And they also, it's an air sign, so I wouldn't say they're necessarily super intellectual, but the communication between the two is just, it's never going to be boring between these two. There's always something to talk about, and they'll always contribute to the conversation, and it's always interesting, and you always want to listen to their stories. Next is, what do we have next? Scorpio rising couple. Oof, sexy couple. Very sexy couple. They exude the energy of, there's a certain desire that you can feel between them, and it's like that aura that surrounds them. Very, very passionate couple, passionate about a lot of things. Yes, they probably enjoy their sexuality a lot. But it's passion in general. They're very passionate. It's a very passionate couple. They approach life and everything they do with passion. There can be a little bit of darkness there. You can sometimes feel when you meet them, you sometimes think like, oh, what is going on there? It's a little secretive. You can't really look through. You see them, you see like, oh, there's something different about them. You can't put your finger on it, but it feels like something that is hidden. It's like one of those things where we shouldn't talk about this. But it definitely is also a very interesting couple. Not necessarily the most talkative either. They are usually, they're usually, if you wanna meet them and really know about them, you will have to open up first, and then they may open up too in a deeper way to you. But generally, they are, they're not a couple that shows off, but they have this an incredible energy when you meet them. You're like, oh, they just exude sex or, passion or, like intensity. There's an intensity there. Sagittarius couple. Oh, fun couple, adventurous couple. Lovely couple to have around. Always up for, a joke. Always open to go on an adventure spontaneously, and generally a very easygoing couple, very easygoing. They approach life in that way, and you will also, when you meet them, you will see, oh, yeah, I want them as my friends. I want them. Come, be my friend. It's that kind of couple that makes you, they never make you feel uncomfortable. They're always very welcoming. It's a very welcoming couple. Capricorn, going from Sagittarius to Capricorn. We just talked about Sagittarius rising couples are very welcoming. Capricorn rising couples at first glance, they are not the most welcoming. They have there's almost like an aristocratic feel. They are always a little distant. They may have a sun in Leo, and then that sun will shine through, and there's still a little distance with Leo, because let's give him another sun. Let's give him a Gemini sun. If there's a couple with a Gemini sun and the Capricorn rising, at first you might think, oh, they don't want to talk to me. Oh, well, what are they about? They are distant. They are kind of like, they don't want to. They seem like, they have like this, maybe there's even like a little, what you may experience as arrogance, but for them it's more like, it's again like a security thing, right? It's like they're guarding themselves. There's like this wall where they want to just observe the scenery first to see if they really want to come in. And again, if they have a Gemini, especially if they have a Gemini sun, they will be very chatty really quickly. But yeah, at first, and also the way they approach life is also very, they want big things. First of all, they want big things. They always have a plan, very planned. That couple, it's not a very spontaneous couple. If you say, well, let's, I have a party tonight, you want to come? They may or may not come because they may already have plans, or it's just too spontaneous for them. But it's a couple that can achieve a lot together, and they want to achieve a lot together. It's like one of the purposes of that relationship. It's like achieving something in life together, which can be like a family, like children, but it can also, and more often than not, it relates to achieving something in life in terms of abundance, money, house, things, and also a status in life, like getting somewhere. Two more left. Aquarius rising couple. Oh, that's an interesting couple. Of all the couples, probably the most geeky couple, at least at first glance. They're a little different. They look at life a little different. They approach life a little different. They do things out of the ordinary. It's a couple that, where you can expect the unexpected, and they like that. They want that, and that's actually what makes them thrive as a couple, to do things differently and to live a different kind of life and lifestyle. And last but not least, Pisces couples. Oh, those Pisces couples. They seem a little otherworldly. And they seem otherworldly in the sense of there's a tremendous love between them. At least that's how it looks like, right? We are talking about the facade here, right? We are talking about the lens, right? They appear very much in love, and they can hold up that image even if behind the scenes things are a little different, a little more complicated. But there is, it's Pisces, so there is a lot of compassion and understanding for the other. And even though, yes, we are dealing with some issues at home, we still love each other, and we still want to be with each other, and we still want to show the world how much in love we are. It's like a couple that shows you how they love. There's PDA, there is hand holding. There is all of that. What shows us. Don't want to use the word love. Togetherness. Your togetherness is a big word for that couple. Togetherness and growing but also growing spiritual together, because there's a very big spiritual component to that couple. That's also, again, one of the reasons this couple came together. It's like spiritual growth. Growing, learning from each other. One of these two is usually more spiritual, but then brings that in, and that will raise the frequency of that couple. It's a very high frequency couple. Beautiful couple. Okay, so that was my quick little, I don't know how quick that was, probably not that quick, video about the Ascendant in a Composite and Davidson chart. And I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, comment section below. And yeah, I will see you and talk to you very soon.